Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a three-city visit tomorrow to personally review vaccine development and manufacturing process. The PM to visit Zydus Biotech Park in Ahmedabad, Bharat Biotech in Hyderabad and Serum Institute of India in Pune. Delhi police allows protesting farmers to enter Delhi, appeals to maintain peace during the protest. The government says it will engage in dialogue with farmers to resolve all matters. At least 5 patients killed in the fire that engulfed Gujarat's Shivanand COVID Hospital in Rajkot. Chief Minister's ordered judicial probe into the incident. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses pain at the loss of lives, says the administration is ensuring all possible assistance to those affected. Supreme Court extends Arnav Goswami's interim bail till the disposal of the pleas of the accused by the Bombay High Court in an abetment to suicide case, says FR against the TV journalist prima facie does not establish abetment to suicide charge against him. Major relief and vindication for Kangana Ranaut. Bombay High Court blasts BMC, calling its partial demolition of the Bollywood actor's bungalow as smacking of malafidis. Quashes and sets aside the notice for demolition of the bungalow issued by the civic body and appoints a valuer for determining compensation. Kangana terms it's a victory of democracy. GDP figures for the second quarter of the current financial year 2020-21 set to be released today. Improvement expected in the second quarter in figures of economic growth after the 23.9% decline in the first quarter. And three-match ODI series between India and Australia is on in Sydney with half the stadium filled with fans during COVID times. The Aussies set Team India a formidable target of 375 runs on the back of solid centuries by Aaron Finch, captain, as well as Steve Smith. Namaskar, you have the latest here on DD India and DD News. I am Gautam Roy. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is personally overseeing the vaccine development process as well as distribution models. From time to time, the PM has reviewed the status and preparedness of COVID-19 response and management. Modalities of COVID-19 vaccine delivery, distribution and administration will be discussed. And the PMO has tweeted today that Prime Minister Modi will be embarking on a three-city visit to personally review the vaccine development and manufacturing process. He will visit the Zydus Biotech Park in Ahmedabad, Bharat Biotech in Hyderabad and Serum Institute of India in Pune. As India enters a decisive phase of the fight against COVID-19, PM's visit to these facilities and discussions with the scientists will help him get a first-hand perspective of the preparations, challenges and roadmap in India's endeavour to vaccinate its citizens. Let me take you across to one of the cities that the PM will visit tomorrow. That's Shishir Shelar, who is joining us from Ahmedabad. Shishir, what can you tell us about what really can the PM expect to hear and how are the preparations being made for his visit right now in Ahmedabad?
Well, absolutely, Gautam. So far, we've actually, we heard the news from many of the foreign multinational pharma companies as how they are developing the vaccine here. But now we can say that even some of the Indian pharma companies have also pulled up their socks, and probably by next year we'll also see some Indian vaccines will get ready to fight against COVID here. And in that line, the Prime Minister will be visiting 3 important facilities here, the pharma facilities across the world here. First, he'll be coming to Gujarat's Ahmedabad here. In Ahmedabad, he'll be visiting the Zydus Kerala Biotech Park here. Just you can see these visuals here. Well, the Zydus Biotech Park is actually developing a Zycov-D vaccine to fight against COVID here, and probably what we've heard that right now the vaccine is in clinical trials here, and so far they got a very good results. The second important place that Prime Minister will be visiting is in Pune, where he'll be visiting the Serum Institute. Now the Serum Institute actually has partnered with AstraZeneca and Oxford University to make a vaccine here, and even the vaccine that Serum is also making is also probably in a clinical trials, and probably by next year we'll see even the Serum Institute will make one of the vaccines here. The third important destination where Prime Minister will be visiting tomorrow is the Bharat Biotech. Now Bharat Biotech is also making one vaccine here, that is Covishield vaccine, and Covishield is also probably, we can see, on a very decisive phase that is reached here, probably is also in the clinical trials, and what we heard from the company is that probably next year we'll see that the vaccine will be ready for the people. Now this is very important time when we can see that the Prime Minister will be visiting these facilities here. The important reason, that the main aim of the Prime Minister's visit is that he wants to understand how exactly this vaccine and the progress on this vaccine is going on here. And the second important fact is that how this vaccine can be utilized here. The distribution is one of the important aspects. When the vaccine is ready, the important the question that rises here, that how we can distribute this vaccine across the length and breadth of this country.
Yes.
And that's the reason the scientists will play also an important role here. Just a few days back, we've heard the Prime Minister had a meeting with the Chief Minister of the States, and he said that we should not get relaxed even if the vaccine comes here. We have to be alert, and that's the reason we have to tighten this fight against COVID here, the social distancing norms, the mask that we've seen here. At the same time, we should not gather at one place. And all these measures.
Shishir, I'm afraid I'll have to cut you off because we have to go across for a live input now that we're getting where Union INB Minister is releasing a portal. Let's cut across over there.
ये एक नया पोर्टल शुरू किया जा रहा है, नॉलेज पोर्टल, क्लाइमेट नॉलेज पोर्टल, जिसमें जितने भी भारत के क्लाइमेट एक्शंस है वो दिखेंगे। यानी क्लाइमेट प्रोफाइल क्या है भारत की, कितनी भूमि है, कैसी हवा है, कैसी परिस्थिति है, कैसी हमारी पॉलिसी है, एडेप्टेशन और मिटिगेशन, मात देने के लिए हम क्या कर रहे हैं, साथ रहने के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं, हमने जो पेरिस में लक्ष्य रखे हैं वो क्या है, और आगे भी जब आगे आगे बढ़ता जाएगा तो वो भी उसमें होगा। फिर द्विपक्षीय और बहुपक्षीय ऐसे जो समझौते होते हैं, सहयोग होता है, उसकी जानकारी होती जाएगी। ये अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कूटनीति का एक विषय बन गया है अब क्लाइमेट निगोशिएशन। तो उसका मतलब है कि जो क्लाइमेट के बारे में जितना भी ये करे, जितनी भी निगोशिएशन होता है, जितने भी विवाद है, जितनी भी समस्या है, जितना भी भारत का उत्तर है, वो सब इसमें दिखेगा। और सारे रिपोर्ट्स और सारे पब्लिकेशंस एक जगह दिखेंगे। ये पोर्टल की कल्पना अच्छी है। मैंने अभी ऋचा जी से कहा कि टेस्ट लाइज इन दी ईटिंग, और वो ये है कि आपकी परीक्षा अब शुरू हुई है, आपने पहले तो सारी जानकारी डाली है, लेकिन अब जानकारी अपडेट करना, एक एक मिनिस्ट्री से जानकारी हर महीने आएगी, वो तुरंत ऐड करना, ये करने की जरूरत है। जो इरेलेवेंट बन गया वो जानकारी बदलना, ये जितना करेंगे उतना ही ये पोर्टल ज्यादा प्रभावी साबित होगा। अदरवाइज लोग फिर से लाइब्रेरी और दूसरी जगह ढूंढ लेंगे, तो वो नहीं होना चाहिए। और तीसरा, भारत एक पर्यावरण प्रेमी देश है। पर्यावरण हमारे संस्कृति का हिस्सा है, और इसलिए यहाँ पेड़ की भी पूजा होती है, प्राणियों की भी पूजा होती है, पक्षियों को भी खिलाया जाता है। तो ये एक अजीब देश है, और यहाँ इतनी कम भूमि और ज्यादा आबादी होने के बावजूद भी बायोडाइवर्सिटी ज्यादा है, जीव विविधता ज्यादा है। उसके साथ साथ जो प्राणी जगत है वो भी यहाँ अच्छा विद्यमान है। हमारा बड़ा अच्छा खासा क्षेत्र ये प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया है, और उसमें प्राणियों की भी हम अच्छी तरह से देखभाल करते हैं। बल्कि कभी कभी ये प्रॉब्लम आता है कि प्राणियों की संख्या ज्यादा बढ़ रही है, अब उनको कहाँ रखें, उनका रिलोकेशन कैसे करें, ये प्रॉब्लम आता है। तो ये है। बाकी भी प्रश्न आते हैं, ह्यूमन एनिमल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट भी होते हैं, लेकिन इन सब के बावजूद मुझे कहना है कि क्लाइमेट के एक्शन में पेरिस के समझौते के बाद हमारे जो हमने टारगेट्स लिए थे उसमें भी दो भाग है। एक 2020 के पहले भी हमने टारगेट लिया कुछ, 2005 की तुलना में 2020 तक हम कहाँ पहुंचेंगे, और मुझे खुशी है कि हम पहुंच गए। वी हैव प्रैक्टिकली अचीव्ड आवर टारगेट्स ऑफ प्री 2020। ये बड़े देशों के लिए, फॉर द बिग कंट्रीज, दिस इज आंसर फ्रॉम इंडिया दैट वी, though not responsible for the climate change, we are taking responsible actions to mitigate the challenge. But what other countries are doing is the issue, and therefore I think that they must also commit for the advanced commitments of Kyoto Protocol, which have not been taken up by the countries and not been followed up. That must be done. That is my demand on this occasion. मैं इतना ही कहूँगा कि ये भारत की खुद की कमिटमेंट है, क्योंकि भारत के प्रधानमंत्री ऐसे हैं कि जिन्होंने दुनिया जब चर्चा कर रही थी इनकन्वीनियंट ट्रूथ, असुविधाजनक तथ्य, ये जिस पर चर्चा कर रही थी, तो उन्होंने एक किताब लिखी कि द आंसर ऑफ इनकन्वीनियंट ट्रूथ लाइज इन कन्वीनियंट एक्शन। तो अच्छी एक्शन करने पर ही ये एक सही उत्तर पे हम जा पाएंगे, ये उनका जोर था। और वो किताब एक दुनिया को मार्गदर्शन करने वाला है। उन्होंने क्लाइमेट जस्टिस की बात की, उन्होंने लाइफस्टाइल इश्यूज को लाया पेरिस के चर्चा में, और उसके साथ साथ उन्होंने ये पेरिस एग्रीमेंट के प्रियम्बल में आ गया। उसके साथ साथ प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस लॉन्च किया, जिसमें आज 55-56 देश एकदम एक्टिवली सहभागी है, उसके तरह से तरक्की कर रहे हैं। सोलर एनर्जी का ग्राफ बढ़ रहा है। उसके साथ उन्होंने CDRI, कोएलिशन फॉर डिजास्टर रेजिलिएंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, ये भी तैयार किया है। तो भारत अब अगुवाई कर रहा है, भारत अब नेतृत्व कर रहा है, और इन सभी नेतृत्व के पहलुओं की सभी जानकारी इस पोर्टल में मिलेगी। और इसलिए ये पोर्टल बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, और ये सभी अध्ययन करने वाले जो स्टूडेंट्स भी है, जो रिसर्चर्स है, और जो क्लाइमेट चेंज में रुचि रखते हैं, ऐसे सभी लोगों को कभी रेफरेंस के लिए ताज़ा रेफरेंस मिलना चाहिए। और इसलिए हमारे इस विभाग की जिम्मेवारी अब बढ़ गई है, क्योंकि ताज़ा रेफरेंस चाहिए, लेटेस्ट चाहिए। जो आंकड़ा बाहर मालूम है वो यहाँ पोर्टल में नहीं होगा, तो लोग पोर्टल नहीं देखेंगे। तो ये करने की ज़रूरत है, ये करें। आपको सबको इसमें जो शामिल थे उनको शुभकामनाएं, और सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और मुबारक।
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I hope that everyone.
So there you saw Union Environment, Forest and Climate Change Minister Prakash Javadekar releasing a knowledge portal, climate change knowledge portal at Paryawaran Bhavan in the national capital, and he talked about how India is doing, performing a stellar really role as far as mitigating climate change is concerned, because a lot of the targets that were set, the COP targets, India has already met for 2020, and India is making a lot of progress. And at the same time, he put across that demand for climate justice as well. Okay, moving on further, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has said that the government is ready to hold talks with farmers and discuss issues. Talking to the media, the Union Minister had said that new Farm Act will prove beneficial for the farmers in the long run. He appealed to protesting farmers to not agitate any further. He said they have invited farmers for talks on the 3rd of December and expressed hope that dialogue will have a positive result.
किसान भाई और बहनों को पंजाब में कुछ भ्रम है, तो हम लोगों ने भ्रम दूर करने के लिए सचिव स्तर पर भी वार्ता की, मेरे स्वयं के स्तर पर भी चर्चा हुई किसान यूनियन के लोगों से, और उस दिन चर्चा पूरी नहीं हो पाई थी, तो हमने कहा ये चर्चा जारी रहेगी। तो मैंने 2-3 दिन पहले ही सभी किसान यूनियन को 3 दिसंबर को पुनः बैठने के लिए अनुरोध किया है। मैं आपके माध्यम से सभी किसान भाई और बहनों को अनुरोध करना चाहता हूं कि सरकार पूरी तरह चर्चा के लिए तैयार है। चर्चा के माध्यम से ही रास्ते निकलते हैं, इसलिए कृपा करके वो अपने आंदोलन को स्थगित करें, चर्चा के लिए आएं और हम उनका चर्चा और स्वागत करने के लिए तैयार हैं।
And the Delhi police is informed that after discussion with protesting farmers who were willing to enter Delhi, they've been allowed. In a tweet, the Delhi police has said after discussion with farmer leaders, the protesting farmers have been permitted inside Delhi to hold a peaceful protest at Nirankari ground, Buradi. Delhi police appeals to them to maintain peace. The Supreme Court today passed a detailed judgment in the Arnav Goswami bail matter. The top court in a detailed judgment said FIR against Arnav Goswami prima facie does not establish abetment to suicide charge against him. The High Court failed to take a prima facie view of the FIR and erred in not granting bail to Arnav Goswami. The Supreme Court on the 11th of November had granted bail to Arnav Goswami and ordered his immediate release. And in another matter, the Bombay High Court granted relief to actress Kangana Ranaut today in her plea challenging demolition activity by the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation on her property in Bandra last September. The court has quashed the demolition notice and added that Ranaut may take steps to make her property habitable and to regularize the same. The court said that building of Kangana Ranaut was an existing construction and state cannot take mala fide action against a citizen. The court has also directed the appointment of a valuer to determine the compensation payable to Ranaut for the demolition of her property. In Jammu and Kashmir, preparations are on at full swing for the unprecedented District Development Council elections. Voting for the historic elections will take place in 8 phases. Voting for phase 1 will take place tomorrow, while for the second phase, voting will take place on the 1st of December. There are 260 candidates for a total of 43 seats in the first phase and 386 candidates for the 41 seats in the second phase. Counting will take place on the 22nd of December following voting in all 8 phases. For the first time in these elections, refugees from Pakistan, Valmiki community and Gorkhas are also getting the right to vote. Talking of the preparations, Jammu and Kashmir Election Commissioner K.K. Sharma clarified that all arrangements have been made regarding these elections, especially security, so that these elections, which are going to be held in the state for the first time in 70 years, can be conducted in a peaceful and smooth manner.
कश्मीर में डिस्ट्रिक्ट डेवलपमेंट काउंसिल के जनरल इलेक्शन हो रही हैं। 20 जिलों के लिए डिस्ट्रिक्ट डेवलपमेंट काउंसिल चुनी जाएंगी और इन जिलों में जहां-जहां पंचायत के सरपंच की वैकेंसीज हैं और पंच कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसीज की वैकेंसीज हैं, उनके लिए पंच चुने जाएंगे। ये सारी इलेक्शन 8 फेजेस में हो रही है। इसका पहला फेज़ परसों उसकी पोलिंग होगी 28 नवंबर को और बाकी फेजेस उसके बाद में है। लास्ट फेज़ जो है वो 19 दिसंबर को है। इन सभी 8 फेजेस के लिए जो इलेक्शन अरेंजमेंट हैं वो सारे हमारे जो इलेक्शन स्टाफ है, डीसीज जिनको डिस्ट्रिक्ट इलेक्शन ऑफिसर होते हैं, वो इसके इंतजाम कर चुके हैं।
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is on a 3-nation visit, will visit Seychelles today in the last leg of his tour. The External Affairs Minister will present greetings of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to newly elected President Pavel Ramakalavan. Earlier, the External Affairs Minister paid a 2-day official visit to the UAE on the 25th and 26th of this month. During the visit, Dr. Jaishankar called on Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and held talks with his counterpart, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Dr. Jaishankar briefed the UAE side on the progress made by India in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, both on the health and economic fronts. Both sides reviewed their cooperation on various facets of their comprehensive strategic partnership, including trade, investment, infrastructure, energy, food security and defense. The External Affairs Minister and the UAE Foreign Minister discussed recent regional and international developments and agreed to continue coordination on various multilateral issues. The External Affairs Minister also virtually met representatives of the Indian community associations in Abu Dhabi, and in his virtual meeting with these representatives, the External Affairs Minister appreciated the work of the Indian associations in taking care of the community during the COVID-19 pandemic. Moving on further, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval will visit Sri Lanka today to participate in the 4th NSA level meeting on trilateral maritime security cooperation. The 2-day meeting will begin today in Colombo. The NSA-level trilateral meeting has served as an effective platform for cooperation among Indian Ocean countries. Apart from the Defence Secretary of Sri Lanka and NSA Ajit Doval from India, Maldives Defence Minister Maria Didi will also participate in the meeting. The meeting will provide an opportunity for discussion on issues pertaining to cooperation in maritime security in the Indian Ocean region. On the sidelines of the trilateral meeting, the NSA is also expected to have other high-level meetings. An implementation agreement on hydrography was signed between India and Vietnam. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh and his Vietnamese counterpart, General Ngo Xuan Liek, signed the agreement during a virtual bilateral meeting today. Both leaders discussed ways to further the comprehensive strategic partnership and friendship between the two countries. In tragic news coming in, 5 COVID-19 patients lost their lives in a fire at the ICU of private COVID hospital in Gujarat's Rajkot late last night. About 33 patients were admitted to the hospital and there were 11 patients in the ICU when the incident took place. Police Commissioner Manoj Agarwal has termed it as a very tragic accident and said that Chief Minister Vijay Rupani has ordered a judicial inquiry into the matter.
राजकोट में उदय शिवानंद मिशन हॉस्पिटल पिछले 2 महीने से कोविड हॉस्पिटल तरीके गोकुल हॉस्पिटल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने संभाला है। आज लेट नाइट को वहाँ पर आईसीयू वार्ड के अंदर आगजनी का बना है, जिसमें आईसीयू के अंदर ही टोटल 11 में से 3 लोगों की स्थल पे मौत हुई है और बाकी लोगों को शिफ्ट करा है, जिसमें अभी प्राथमिक जानकारी के हिसाब से 2 और लोगों को कम नसीबे मृत्यु हुई है। इस पूरे घटनाक्रम में जितने भी यहाँ पे पेशेंट 33 थे, सबको दूसरे हॉस्पिटल में भेज दिया गया है।
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court took cognizance of the fire incident in a COVID-19 hospital in Rajkot in which several patients have died and sought report from Gujarat government on the issue. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for the centre, assured the bench that the Union Home Secretary will convene a meeting latest by Saturday and issue directions on the fire safety in government hospitals across India. A bench of Justice Ashok Bhushan, R.S. Reddy and M.R. Shah, while taking note of the surge in COVID-19 cases in the country, said that states have to rise to the occasion and be above politics to deal with the pandemic. It's high time that strict measures are taken to implement the policy, guidelines and standard operating procedures to contain the surge of coronavirus cases nationwide. And Prime Minister Modi has also condoled the Rajkot incident. The PM tweeted and said, and I quote, "Extremely pained by the loss of lives due to a hospital fire in Rajkot. My thoughts are with those who lost their loved ones in this unfortunate tragedy. Praying for a quick recovery of the injured, the administration is ensuring all possible assistance to those affected." Now, the Phase 3 human clinical trial of Covaxin, a vaccine against the novel coronavirus, began at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi on Thursday. Dr. M.B. Padma Srivastava, the Chief of Neurosciences Centre at the Premier Institute, and 3 other volunteers received the first dose. Dr. Srivastava was the first one to receive the first trial dose, which would be given to nearly 15,000 volunteers in Delhi's AIIMS hospital in the next few days. The Phase 3 randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled multi-centre trial would cover around 28,500 subjects aged 18 years and above. It would be conducted in about 25 sites across 10 states. The trial has already started at a few other sites. The developed potential anti-coronavirus Covaxin is being created by Bharat Biotech in collaboration with the Indian Council of Medical Research. As part of the trial application, a dose of 0.5 ml would be given on day 0 and on day 28. And the centre has blamed the Delhi government for worsening COVID-19 situation in the national capital in its affidavit in the Supreme Court. The affidavit says that the Delhi government was lax in containing COVID-19 and failure in enforcing measures by the Delhi government led to a spread of the infection. The centre says that no effective preventive steps were taken to contain the infection. Despite knowing festivities winter might lead to surge, Delhi government didn't do enough. It emphasized no timely measures were taken by the Delhi government to increase ICU beds and testing capacity. Those and home isolation were not properly traced, and private hospitals also flouted discharge policy. And let's get you an update now on the COVID-19 situation across the country. Well, India has leapt across a significant milestone in its fight against COVID-19. The number of new daily cases has been below the 50,000 mark for the 20th consecutive day. Over 32,000 new confirmed cases were reported in the last 24 hours, while over 39,000 people recovered successfully. With cumulative recovery of more than 87,18,000 people so far, the national recovery rate has reached 93.65%. And according to the Indian Council of Medical Research, about 13 crore 70 lakh 62,749 tests have been conducted in the country so far. 11 lakh 31,204 tests were conducted just on Thursday. Let's get you sports now. And Aaron Finch blasted his 17th century and fourth against India, while Steve Smith hit a century of just 62 balls, his quickest ever. Combined with an aggressive 69 from David Warner and a brilliant 19-ball blitz of 45 from Glenn Maxwell, Australia notched up a mammoth 374 runs for 6 wickets against India in the first ODI at Sydney Cricket Ground. It was a magnificent display of batting from the Australians, who took the attack to the Indian bowlers, with only Mohammad Shami being the pick of the bowlers with 3 for 59 from his 10 overs. In reply, India were 246 for 5 when reports last came in. In international news, Argentina's President Alberto Fernandez joined scores of fans to say goodbye to soccer great Diego Maradona, whose casket lay in state at the Casa Rosada Presidential in Buenos Aires. Fernandez paid tribute to the soccer star, laying a red T-shirt with the number 10 that had been part of Maradona's nickname. Maradona battled various health problems and was hospitalized earlier this month for a surgery of subdural hematoma. And that's all we have at the moment in this edition of the news on DD India as well as DD News. But before I go, let me just ask you to mask up India. That's the best medicine to COVID.